Hey guys, welcome to C hash or C sub tutorial session 14. In today's session, you can learn the importance of math class and its important static fields and method or function. The System.Math class provides many constant field and static method that user can use to do logarithmic, trigonometric and other mathematical calculation. There are a lot of important method or functions available in System.Math class. We will discuss one by one the key important method or functions. The Math.Max, that is the methods available. It can be used to find the highest value of any two variable can be any data type. It can be integer, double, decimal, byte, etc. Now let's see how we can get the maximum value out of two variables. So this is our main method. Here I can declare some variable called x equal to, so definitely I need to give the data type first. So integer x equal to 20, and I can declare something called integer y equal to say 30, and this out of these two variable I want to get the maximum value. So what I will do, I will use Console.WriteLine, and here I will be using the math class, and then I will call the method called max. Here I can give the variable x and y, out of which I want to get the maximum value. So that is the way, and I need to give the bracket. So it will give me the maximum value out of two variable. The variable can be any type, like including data, integer, decimal, float, double, etc. So you could see here it is giving 30. So out of these two variable, 20 and 30, 30 is the maximum, so it is giving the maximum value. Now there is a Math.Min method. This method is used to find the lowest value of any two variables. Similarly, this variable can be any data type, integer, double, decimal, byte, float, etc. So similar way, I can call that one, and I can copy that line of code, and instead of max I can use min method, math.min. So it will give me the minimum value here. So here it will be displayed 30 because that is the maximum out of two variable. Here it will give me 20 because that is the minimum value. Now if you want to execute the code, you could see here the desired result. The first one, maximum value will be out of two variable 30 and 20, it will be 30, and the minimum value it will be 20. Now instead of defining two variable, you can directly call it. You can directly call the min or max method, so it can be any data type, maybe I will be, instead of two variable, I can directly call directly give the value of maybe double, so suppose they give 30, like that. So this is the one value, and this is the other value I can give it, 20. So I can give 34.899 and maybe 59.7, like that. So this is the way I can get the maximum out of two variable. I can directly call them. Similarly, I can directly call the minimum. So here the first one will give me the maximum value out of two variable directly defined in the Console.WriteLine method. So you could see here it is coming as 59.788, which is the max one. Out of two variable, this is the max, and here out of two variable, this is the minimum. So that is the way you can deal with integer, double, like float. These are the different data type you can deal with minimum and maximum, which is that defined in the math class. Then I can get the absolute value with the help of the Math.Abs. It return the absolute positive value of any number, So what I can do, I can define some double. I can define with something called d with negative value, something called 7.989. So this is my double value, and I want to get the absolute value here. So what I'll be doing, I will be calling that variable. So here instead of mean, I will be calling dot absolute abs, and here I can pass the parameter which is nothing but the d variable, and I need to enclose with the bracket. So here what it will do, it will print the absolute value of the d variable. So initially it was minus negative 7.89, but it is giving me the absolute value, which which will remove that sign next part. It will always give me the positive value. So that is the importance of the absolute math method. Math.Abs, which will return the absolute or positive value of any number. Then I can get the square root of any method. So math.square root, this method return the square root of any specified variable. So in case you are defining something called integer, maybe suppose say 25. So what will be the square root? It will be 5, because 5 star 5 equal 25, right? So let's change the value of x equal to 25, and now the particular thing I want to get the square root with the help of Sqrt method. So here I can type Sqrt, you could see, and then variable value I can change it to x. So it will give me the square root of x, which is nothing but it will be 5, because square root of 25 will be 5 here. Now let's try to run the code and let's see whether square root is coming as 5. So it will give me the square root of any variable. It can be double, like it can be integer as well. Then there is a method available in the math class, which is nothing but Math.Floor, which will return the largest integral value less than or equal to the specified number, which will be less than or equal maximum equal value. So here I already defined some variable, 7.89. Now if you want to call it Console.WriteLine Math.Floor, and I can change the variable value here d. So what will give it value will be the lowest value or equal value of the integral, right? It is coming as lowest 8, because minus 7.89 smaller will be minus 8. But in case you are giving it positive sign, so it will be giving you the lowest value, which is nothing but 7 here. So minus 7.89 is bigger than minus 8. So that is the reason it is coming the negative higher value. But for the positive one, lower value will be the lower value, because it is positive sign. That is the reason instead of 7.89, it is giving you for d equal to 7. Then another important method which is related to the floor will be scaling method. So math.scaling will return the smallest integral value greater than or equal to the specified number. Okay, so okay, let's see with scaling here. No, so floor will be giving you the smallest integral value, whereas scaling will be your largest integral value. Sorry, it was a mismatch in the PPT. So math.scaling will give you the largest integral value or greater than or equal to the specified number. Okay, sorry, it is same only. So it will give you the return the smallest integral value which will be greater than or equal to the specified number. Now see here, in case you want to print out the d, double d with the help of the scaling method. So what it will give, let's remove it and let's call the scaling method. So it will give you 8, because 8 is the smallest integral value here for that particular number, which is greater than the value. 7.89 is greater than 8, and it is the smallest number, most out of all the greater value. But in case you are giving it minus 7.89, so what it will do, it will give you the result as 7. Okay, now let's try to run it. So it will give the smallest value which is greater than than the variable value. So minus 7.89 is less than minus 7, because minus 7 is greater than which is the smallest one. So minus 6 will be more greater than minus 7.89, minus 5, like that, but it is the smallest greater value. So that is the way you can use floor and scaling, and floor and scaling is completely opposite. Floor will return the largest integral value which is less than or equal to the specified number, whereas scaling will return the smallest integral value which will be greater than or equal to the specified number. Okay, then apart from some of the important methods or functions, there are some important static fields available, static variable available, So math.phi field is one of the static field which is available in the math class. So it represents the ratio of circumference of a circle to its diameter specified by the constant sign. So pi, you already know, in case you are using pi for any trigonometric operation, it will give you the value called 3.14 equal to, So how can I do it? I can define some thing called double Okay, I can define something called pi underscore value. Okay, and for that one I need to call that math.pi. So that is the way I can call that method value. So what are the value it will print it out? It will be close to 3.14, right? Now if you want to print out the value here, you can directly call it, and you can call that particular variable here instead of Math.Floor. So now if you want to print it out, right, it will give you the value of the pi value, which is coming from the right System.Math class. You could see 3.14159 like that. So it will be value will be equal to 3.14, close to, right? The remaining part if you ignore it. So that part already got. Now say I want to use the pi for some trigonometric operations, because say I have a cylinder, right? I want to calculate the area as well as the volume of the cylinder. Okay, so say define first the radius of the cylinder. Radius of a cylinder I can define here. So say give some variable, maybe it can be double, right? Radius equal to value, maybe you can give it any integer or decimal value, not be a problem. So it's better to use always the variable type as double, so that you can give any decimal value as well. Similar way I will define something called length, because any cylinder will contain the length and the radius, say 20, right? So that is the way I can define the length and the radius. Now if I want to calculate the area, right? So what I can do, I can create some variable called double and area equal to, what is the formula, right? Pi. So I can call that complete here pi, because that is already calling the math.pi, or I can directly call math.pi, right? Otherwise the variable value, that is, it will same. Then star radius, because pi r square, right? Radius against star radius. So that is the way I can get the area of the cylinder. Now if you want to print out, right here, so it will give you the radius of, sorry, not radius, area of the cylinder. Okay, then I can print out the area here. And if you want to concatenate with some word, right, you can mention like the area of the cylinder will be, and I can give some colon, and here I space, and then I can concatenate. So it will print me the value here. Right, now let's try to run the code, and let's see what is the coming area is coming. So 10 multiplied by 10 equal to 100, multiplied by 3.14, you could see this coming as 314, and then other sign, right? So that is the way you can call that static variable already defined in the System.Math class. Then you can get the volume, right? So I can again create some double variable volume here. Volume of the cylinder equal to volume. What is the volume here? Area multiplied by length, right? So that is the way I can get the volume. Now if you can print out the volume of the cylinder here, so here the volume of the cylinder will be your volume variable. So that is the way, right, you can deal with do it, calculate to area or the volume of any relevant thing, right? It can be your square, right? It can be a circle, it can be a rectangle, it can be a cylinder. So these are the, for the different trigonometric operation, you can use the math.phi static variable value, which is already constant here, 3.14 equal to. Okay, then next important couple of method is Math.Pow, which is nothing but the power. This method is used to calculate a number raised to the power of some other number. So let's see how can I calculate here. So I can create some variable again, right? Pow value. Okay, and how can you call the Pow method Pow? So you need to call math then Pow. Okay, and here you need to give two, you could see here double x and double y, you can give it. So suppose say I want to raise the power of, sorry, 5 for 3, it will be 5 to the power 3. So what will value it will give me? It will give me the value 5 star 5 star 5, means 125, which will be equal to 125, because 5 to the power 3. So 5 is nothing but your base value and 3 is the power, right? So if you want to print in the console, right, you can do it. So let's try to print the new value, power value here. So it will be giving you that 125, because base is 5 and power is 3. So 5 to the power 3 equal to 125, means 5 star 5 star 5 3 times. And you can directly call that one also, right, in case you want to go. So power will be always your integer, but it can be double as well, but it also, that other also it can be double here. So here I can directly call that one. And if I want to use it single line, suppose say I want to go with 2 to the power 4. So 2 is my base and 4 is the power, means 2 stars 2 stars 2 stars 2, means 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16. So it will give me the value as 16 output. So that is the way I can use the Math.Pow method, which will give me the power of a specified number. The first one will be called as the base and second one will be called as the power for the base. Then there is another method called truncate. So in case you are having a decimal value, right, and you want to completely remove the decimal part, you want to keep the integer part, it can be float also, right, if you want to completely remove the after the decimal part. So you can use the truncate method. So math.truncate, this function takes in either a decimal or double data type, such as like 20.55. It removes any fractional part of the number and returns the resulting integer value. So you can directly in the same line you can call it. So say math.truncate, you could see here, and here you need to give the variable value. Say I can give suppose 200.789. So what it will print? It will print me 200. It will truncate that after the including the decimal part and the remaining area, the remaining value. So it will give me 200, right? So let's card the code and let's paste this first so that you can get the desired result at the top of the line. So it will truncate the remaining part after the decimal and it will give you the integer value always. So in case of floor, decimal or double, right, it will remove the fractional part of the number, it will return the resulting integer value. Then there is another important methods available called math.log. This method returns the natural logarithm of any number, right? Base will be e. So you can use the math.log. So here similar way I can use math.log. L will be always kept. So it will be log means it will be e base and log 10 means it will be log 10 base. So say suppose say I want to give the value of 5 log 5. So it will be e base, right, log e. And then similar way if you want to call the other method, right, which is log dot log 10, so it will be log 10 base. So that is the two methods available, log and log 10. So log will be default e base and log 10 is the, you could see that is the reason value is getting different. So log 5 equal to e base is 1.60 and here it is, right, 0.69. So that is the way you can use the logarithm, which is the nothing but the dot log method. Math.log, this will return the natural logarithm e base of a number, whereas math.log 10 it will give you the, right, base 10 logarithm of a number. Then the last one important methods is math.round. So as of now you already see the math truncate means it will remove the remaining decimal value, and the floor it will give you the largest integral value which is less than or equal to specified number, or selling, it will give you the smallest integral value greater than or equal to specified number. But in case you want to get the rounding figure, right? Rounding figure mean in case you are having 3.51, in case you want to round it, so it will give you the rounding 4 value. But in case it is 3.49, so it will give you the rounding 3 value. Unless it is greater than 0.50, right? No value will be is the remaining, right, less number value. And in case it is a greater than 50, it will be the next number value, right, or next integer value. So that way you can use the round method, math.round. It will round a value to the nearest integer or to the specified number of the fractional digit. So let's see the rounding option. So here I can use the rounding option here. Say math.round, right? Say you can give 5.52, so it will give you result as 6, because rounding of 5.52 will be 6 here. But in case you are giving 5.49, so what is the rounding value? Rounding value will be 4. So that is the way you can use the round method as well. Let's try to run the code and let's see how it is behaving. So rounding of 5.52 will be 6 and rounding of 5.49 will be 5. So that is the important methods available to deal with the C# math class. So there are a couple of methods available and couple of static variable available whose value will be constant, so that we can use to do some math operation in C#. That's all from today's session. Thank you.